You are cordially invited to celebrate the birth of P. Diddy.
What led Will Smith, once vocal in hyping up the lavish parties thrown by Diddy, to now publicly disavow all ties with him, going so far as to stand in court, confronting his former friend head-on.
I ain't been nowhere near that man, I ain't did none of that stupid shit. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie.
There was a time when Will Smith and Diddy were inseparable, names entwined in Hollywood's legendary rivalries, where fine liquor, beautiful women, and hushed whispers mingled with music and dim lights. Will was there, raising glasses, bringing his son along, laughing heartily beside Diddy like a soulmate. Yet now, in a federal courtroom, he stands on the opposing side, each testimony like a shove, pushing Diddy deeper into legal peril. I can let you in on this. This isn't just a simple falling out between Hollywood superstars. It's a wake-up call, exposing a web of intimidation and manipulation that has trapped victims and their families for years. So, can someone like Diddy, who once stood at the pinnacle of power, withstand the rising tide of truth? Or will he be drowned by the very soulmate he once trusted?
On a tense May Day, a federal courtroom in New York became the epicenter of global attention as Will Smith, the Oscar-winning movie star, took the witness stand to confront Sean Diddy Combs. Here, Smith's testimony wasn't just an accusation. It was a nuclear bomb exposing Hollywood's darkest secrets, where power, money, and manipulation have concealed heinous crimes for years.
I lived in fear every single day. Now, I'm here not just for myself, but for my son, for my family, and for everyone Diddy has hurt.
I lived in fear every single day. Now I'm here, not just for myself, but for my son, for my family, and for everyone Diddy has hurt. As Will Smith began his testimony, the courtroom fell into a hushed silence. With a resolute demeanor, Smith recounted the history of his relationship with Diddy, dating back to the 1990s when both were rising stars. "We were friends," Smith said, his eyes tinged with regret. "I admired his talent, his confidence, and the way he built his empire." At those words, many felt a pang of sorrow, their minds racing with questions, wondering how such a beautiful professional bond could so swiftly turn into a fierce courtroom confrontation. The answer lies in the special parties Smith was invited to, at Diddy's lavish estates in Los Angeles, Miami, and New York. Events that seemed like mere gatherings of the elite, but gradually revealed dark undercurrents that even Smith hadn't anticipated. According to Smith's testimony, these parties were unlike any social events he had ever attended. "At first, I thought they were just Hollywood high society gatherings, with celebrities, expensive wine, and music," Smith recalled. "But then I realized something was off. There were rooms you entered but weren't allowed to leave freely. There were people there to monitor everything. And most importantly, there were cameras everywhere." Will Smith presented his first piece of evidence, an email from 2015 sent from an account linked to Diddy, inviting him to a private party in Miami. The email, verified for authenticity by FBI digital forensics experts, contained cryptic lines such as, "Will, this is the last chance I'm giving you for us to connect. Don't let things get complicated." Smith explained that after attending a few of Diddy's parties, he began declining similar invitations, thinking that would be the end of it. However, he soon received another anonymous email. The sender didn't say much, only attached a short video clip. In the video, Smith appeared in a compromising situation from one of Diddy's earlier parties, a moment he was unaware had been recorded, as he had been drugged and not fully conscious at the time. "That's how they trapped us, in a nightmare," he said. According to Smith, the video was recorded at Diddy's birthday party, an event disguised as a meet and greet and networking opportunity for Hollywood stars. But upon arriving, Smith immediately sensed something was off. A sprawling mansion, black SUVs clogging the entrance, heavy security, phones confiscated.
"Will, you sat part of the family now."
What left the entire room stunned was Smith's accusation that Diddy didn't just target him, but also deeply harmed his son, Jaden Smith. According to Smith, in 2013, Diddy invited Jaden to an intimate meeting under the pretense of supporting his music career. Given the trust and good relationship he had with Diddy at the time, Smith immediately supported Jaden's participation, encouraging him to connect with the music mogul. However, Smith now calls this the worst mistake of my life. He revealed that after the event, Jaden returned in a state of panic, refusing to share details despite Smith's persistent questions. From that point on, Jaden began showing signs of psychological trauma. "My son was no longer himself," Smith said, tears streaming down his face. "Jaden became withdrawn, fearful, and I knew something horrific had happened. But I was powerless. because when I confronted him in anger, Diddy showed me he held all the cards, videos.
They told me that if I didn't keep participating, the video would be sent to the media, to Jada, and it would destroy my family. I lived in fear that the whole world would see me differently, not as Will Smith the actor, but as a failed man who couldn't protect his family.
Power and an entire system backing him. As Smith concluded his testimony, the courtroom erupted in murmurs. Diddy's legal team, led by Benjamin Carter, a renowned attorney known for turning the tables in high-profile cases, swiftly launched a counterattack. Carter described Smith's testimony as a fabricated story designed to smear my client. He argued that Smith, who had faced massive backlash for slapping Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars, was now attempting to deflect public attention from his personal issues. No such video exists, Carter declared, urging the court to dismiss Smith's allegations for lack of concrete physical evidence. Meanwhile, Diddy sat at the defendant's table, his face nearly expressionless. However, courtroom observers noticed his hands clenching tightly, as if suppressing anger or anxiety. When the judge asked if he wished to directly rebut Smith's testimony, Diddy, through his attorney, declined to respond. Instead, his team presented a series of documents, including letters and contracts, to demonstrate that his relationship with Smith was purely standard business. They highlighted a 2012 email in which Smith thanked Diddy for supporting one of Jaden's music projects, using it to refute claims that Diddy had malicious intentions toward the Smith family. Overwhelmed and enraged by the oppressive influence of Diddy's power, Will Smith lost his composure and shouted, "You keep lying. You gave me no choice. Every time I thought about speaking out, I get a text or a call, reminding me that you could destroy me and Jaden at any moment." How old was he? He had his whole future ahead of him. And I had no choice but to stay silent, to protect my son. Visibly broken, Smith revealed how, for years, he was coerced into attending Diddy's parties just to keep compromising videos of both himself and Jaden under wraps. To bolster the credibility of Smith's testimony, prosecutors immediately presented additional evidence provided by Smith, a series of text messages and recorded calls from disposable phone numbers sent between 2014 and 2019. These messages contained veiled threats, such as,
that was so incomprehensible. You know, it was just so, it's hard to understand the level of human.
Alongside this, another piece of evidence was presented in court, a bank transaction report showing that Smith transferred $500,000 in 2016 to a company believed to be a front for Diddy. It wasn't a loan or an investment, Smith explained. It was the price I paid to keep my family safe. But even then, I've lived in fear, up to this very moment, long after he was arrested. Prosecutors argued that this payment was part of an extortion scheme Diddy used to control Smith and others within the entertainment industry. Number 7. According to Smith's testimony, even though Diddy had been in custody for months, his associates continued to target the Smith family. After Diddy's arrest, Smith admitted he selfishly thought he could avoid seeking justice or holding Diddy accountable. He believed he would never have to face Diddy in court, wanting only for himself and his family to live peacefully like ordinary people.
Don't make us take action. Your family deserves peace, don't they? You know you should stay quiet, Smith.
But things were not as simple as Smith had hoped. Diddy's network was determined to ensure nothing worsened his charges, relentlessly harassing Smith to remain silent before the media and public, forbidding him from releasing any damaging information about Diddy. Despite Smith's compliance with their demands, as Diddy's case grew increasingly dire, the pressure on the Smith family intensified. Will Smith said that Diddy's camp wants an "if we go down, we're taking everyone down with us" approach. If they can't save Diddy, they will drag everyone involved down, including himself and Jaden. At this point, Benjamin Carter, Diddy's lead attorney, accused Smith of fabricating stories to exact revenge on Diddy over past personal disputes, while questioning the authenticity of the emails and text messages. Immediately, Olivia Harper, Smith's attorney, rose to counter. Harper argued that the absence of physical video evidence did not diminish Smith's testimony, as manipulators like Diddy know how to cover their tracks.
I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid shit. So whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie.
But she urged the court to examine the bank transaction records, emphasizing that the $500,000 Smith transferred to Diddy's company was clear evidence of extortion. She further stressed that Smith had no reason to risk his career with such allegations if they weren't true. Will Smith has lost everything, his reputation, his peace, and even his sleep, because of what Diddy did to him and his family, Harper declared, sending a chill through the courtroom. Meanwhile, Jada Pinkett Smith, present in the courtroom to support her husband, couldn't hold back tears as Smith spoke about Jaden. Some reporters noted that Jada repeatedly clutched the hand of a companion, as if seeking comfort. As the trial reached a critical juncture, Will Smith presented new evidence that left Diddy's legal team speechless. A secretly recorded audio from 2018, captured by one of Smith's former assistants, in which Diddy could be heard threatening Smith over the phone.